Whoa, there is just way too much stuff going on these days. Okay, sorry for the delay in uploads. You know I hate video editing, so this one took a little bit long. But in this video, we have an interview with myself, the writer from the Chia.Plot.net, as well as the YouTube creator from the Poor Investor. So we talk a little bit about Chia. Mostly about Chia, but we talk about other projects that we're doing and other stuff. So it's almost just like a roundtable of just shooting the shit. And this is probably going to be a two-part series because it was a long interview. So hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you want to see more interviews like this. And this will be part 1 of 2. If not, it'll be too long. So let me know what you think. Talk to you at the end of the credits.
Or
yes,
investor. I don't know.
Chia. What about Solana?
No, we'll talk about Solana later.
We go with
So I noticed that both of you, obviously Chia is relatively new, but I looked at the first video that you posted, and it was, I guess it was Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and 7-year-old, and that was only 7 months ago. So that was in February.
Damn, only? Shit.
That was only 7 months ago, and that was your first post.
Yeah.
So you started off as, you said to yourself, I want to become a investment.
Well, I would say I was been doing it before that, but then when the pandemic happened, it was just like I was home, I was working from home, and I had this kind of spare time from not having to travel. I said, you know what, let me just put things together and see how the traction would be if I made it YouTube videos, starting just investments, because I was doing it every day. I was looking at properties and I was putting money into the market and I was doing all that.
So you started that. How many videos of investment information did you get out before you went into Chia?
Wow. Honestly, from that first video, I was doing videos almost daily because I was following the market.
Wow.
And I was just following videos after videos. And then Chia came about in, I would say, I think April, and that's when I started falling into Chia because my friend started telling me about it, like, oh, you could start mining with hard drives. I'm like, oh, okay. And then that's how I got into it, because originally the 3080s came out and I said, oh, I want to pick a couple of them up and start mining Ethereum. Okay. He was like, oh, that shit's expensive, you should do hard drives. I was like, okay.
Okay, so you
should have picked up those 3080s.
I know, right?
Yeah, you should have picked up those 3080s. Yeah, if you had them, you should have them. Okay, so you don't mine anything else. You just farm.
I just farm. I was mining Dogecoin.
Yeah, that friend did. It does.
I guess
a little.
Yeah, a little. It wasn't much. It's still going. Like, I see it accumulating, but it's not like I have anything intense. You know what I mean? There's not like crazy hardware doing mining for Dogecoin.
But you went pretty deep into Chia, though. You bought quite a bit of stuff and you had to stop yourself from buying more stuff.
I had to stop myself from buying it because it started to not make sense for me. I like, when I analyze a property, I try to see what the cash flow is right away, because if I'm not profiting right off the bat, I'm not going to put more money into it until I see that turnaround, until I see the green, right? It's in the positive. And I don't see that with Chia right now. So that's why I have to hold back. Now, if Chia picks up momentum or the price goes back up, oh, hell yeah, I would start getting more hard drives. It may be a little, I have to wait till that happens, and then I'll probably be off by, a few exabyte or whatever. But if I pick up the hard drive as the momentum keeps going up, so I'm value buying, right? So I'm not like, if I buy it now, if I feel like I'm buying it now, like a bunch of 16 terabytes, and I throw it in and I hope for the best, I feel like I'm gonna lose out.
Yeah, you got the FOMO feeling. The only issue with that mentality, and this is what I have, is by the time it starts to pick up, you're already too late.
Oh yeah, of course.
So it's,
but I feel better about, honestly, I would feel better, me personally would feel better about doing it that way, opposed to putting it all in now. Let's just say if I had $5,000 to spend on hard drives, I'd rather do it then when I know the momentum is going up. All right.
That's
So
on the upside.
opposed to
Yeah.
right now.
Your gain is less, but the risk is way less, right? Like,
right. That's how
'cause
I
then
feel
it's-
about it. Yeah. I
when
know
it's
it's
going
not
up,
the
it's
best
not
way.
going-
Yeah, it's not the best way to do it. But I just feel like, okay, the momentum's going up, and I'll feel better if even if I bought it at that moment and I started farming it, it went up another $1 after I got everything.
Yeah.
You know, like
Less
then
risk.
okay,
It's
yeah,
just
less
less
risk.
Yeah.
But right now, if I was to spend that kind of like that $5,000, I could do so much more with it than put it into Chia.
You can buy flax.
No. None of that. None of that stuff.
So, Chris, one of the other things you only started, I looked at the domain
Yeah.
creation date of yours. So you only started in May this year. So not long after started. And were you mining Ethereum? Well, you said you had wallets dating.
Oh, I was into Bitcoin and stuff like way back in the day when you could like mine Bitcoin on CPUs and stuff. No, I didn't touch crypto for a long time. I got into Chia because hard drive prices started to go up, and I have like I use a lot of storage, and so I was like, I'm gonna buy these hard drives before they're not available because I don't want the same thing to happen to them that happened to video cards. So then I registered the domain, and like I honestly like thought that it was brand new, like she was like that I was getting in like right at the beginning, and then I realized that like no, this is just like the start of transactions, and I'm like way too late already. So
Not really.
it was a really
It
dumb
came out
move.
in April, right?
No, people have been
No.
farming it for like a year and a
Earlier
half,
in
like
2020.
yeah, like early
Yeah,
2020.
That's like
early
beta.
2020.
That's like the beta.
Test, yeah, it was beta, but
But
no,
at a certain point, I think it was like I want to say like last summer, the plot was formalized, like the plot was finalized, so like people had like big farms when mainnet launched already.
you want to know how I know that Chia was not going to be profitable for me was when I spoke to these guys who already farmed or plotted like or farmed thousands of Chias.
Yeah, that really deters me a little bit.
And it's like, all right, forget. And you want to, they keep on talking about the, people they were selling off the pre-mine or what. They don't even have to sell off the pre-mine. It's the guys who started back in early 2020 that literally farmed these thousands and they sold off. That's the only reason why the price of Chia is down to where it is now.
Yeah, because some guys have made like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Thousands. So it's crazy that and then now I look back like, oh, I got one.
Well, so that guy that you interviewed, and I forget who he was, but
which one?
Zoranox or something like that.
Yes, Mike. Yeah.
Mike. Yeah.
He's hardcore. Yeah.
That guy. So just like the way that he was talking, I am fairly certain that he set up his retirement, paid off all his everything.
Guaranteed.
I think that he probably, like you say, like farmed. I think he probably farmed like 10,000 or more Chia.
Definitely.
And
definitely.
Right. And then he sold, like he said he sold some when it was high.
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised if he personally drove the price down hundreds of dollars by selling.
For real, of course.
Like,
of
yeah.
course.
I think that he made mint, and I applaud him for it. I do, like totally like all the power to him.
But I that's the thing. Like even when I interviewed him, it was like, holy shit, right? You did all that prior to not knowing what the hell Chia was going to be and where it was going to be at.
That's what he was saying, right? Like by the time he was able to even sell one, he was not able to really farm a lot more at that point, right? Like everything that he had farmed was basically from before the transaction model came out, right? So this
is the one that you're talking about with Mike?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is the,
that's the one where he's doing, I think he's doing the fastest plot time, but just him in general, the interview was basically him, how he started and what he was doing and all that.
Yeah, so, I saw this one a couple of times actually, because watching him made me, like you guys said, made me realize how pathetic I feel.
No, I feel so much better when I see guys like this because I poured like almost nothing into it, and like everything that I have is still worth basically.
I'm gonna give you guys a funny.
Well, so like I don't know. Have you guys farmed a lot?
So
I know there.
I'm at I farmed 4 and I have like total from the pool right now, like 1.348, whatever.
But you
so you have
farmed, so you
four,
hit 2
so you
blocks
have
on your
I
five?
own.
farmed 4. Yeah, I got 2
You have
blocks. on my own.
total
Yeah.
then?
6. He's got 6 or something now.
It's like sometimes I wonder, like I should have just kept everything instead of replotting to NFTs. I probably would have hit something else by now, but at the same time, I wouldn't have
So
had that one.
I replotted everything and then hit 2 for plot pools, right?
Oh wow! So that
So
you
I
got
hit 1 for
0.25.
flex pool and 1 for Chia farmer or for space farmers.
So that's a 0.5, right?
No point. Yeah, 0.5 plus the fact that I'm an idiot and could have lost that 3. Gave 3.5 away basically.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's really hard to like, which way to go. I know another person. I was speaking to another person where he has over like almost, I would say almost 200 terabytes, and he was farming solo for a while and he wasn't getting anything, and he just went right back onto the pools and then he hit for the pools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really annoying.
I just hit my first block ever. This week.
Congrats.
Nice.
What was that now? 150?
Yeah. I don't know. I've got a Discord bot.
XCH, man. Damn.
Yeah.
215.
I still have less than 2 Chia though, so that block that I hit.
Oh, you hit for a pool. You didn't hit on the solo.
Yeah.
Oh man, I thought you hit solo. That's what I thought you meant.
No, I had I'm on Space Pool. I've been on Space Pool from pretty much from the get-go.
I hear some negative stuff about Space Pool. I don't
Really?
know. I mean, it was just like people not getting the proper payouts and all that good stuff. So I never looked into it any deeper. So
yeah, I don't analyze it a lot. It just sits there and goes. Although, and I wanted to bring this up with you guys, especially Chris, you did a little piece on this. Flexpool just recently released a statement that they're going to be launching NFTs for Chia, and they're going to be giving away NFTs for the first 10,000 miners on their pool. Once the NFTs become available. Now, I don't understand exactly what that means.
Yeah, I don't know what that means either.
Yeah,
so I do. So yeah, there's a group called Digital Farming Initiative, DFI. They're like a software development company. They're not even farmers. They're just like software developers.
Wait.
Like,
this DFI, they literally took the initials of what DeFi
DeFi.
stood for.
So listen to this.
They
didn't know. They said that they didn't know that, and I told them I'm just going to call them.
Come on.
No,
Whatever.
Come on.
I agree.
And you don't know what
I
DeFi
agree.
is.
I'm just relaying what I was told.
Okay.
But but anyway, so it's this DeFi group that they're building. They built an SPV wallet like Knuckle called Arbor Wallet.
Yes.
And they're building a NFT marketplace like OpenSea called an Arbor Place.
Okay.
And so they're partnering with Flexpool, and so they're going to give away 10,000 NFTs to Flexpool farmers.
When you say they're giving away 10,000, what do you mean by that? Like giving?
So
what is it exactly that they're giving away? Because I have
no
idea.
one knows. It's going to be like a coin that's not I don't know what it means.
Okay.
To be honest. So like the first NFT supposedly has been like picture NFT has been put onto the Chia blockchain by DeFi there. And but you can't see it yet because you need their wallet to be able to see it,
right?
Which isn't released yet. So it's gonna come soon. They're also holding a contest to see like to get some original like NFTs published right off the bat. So I actually have a submission in there. I can bring it up if you guys want to see it.
So you created a digital art?
I created, calling it digital art is something. Let me share here. Oh, you gotta let me share there, Derek.
Okay, I'm pretty sure. Hold on, let me see here. And we may actually have to like redo a meeting because I think you only get 5 minutes for this.
Oh,
this is worth $20,000.
So this is a Chia Plot.
I used to do these on Microsoft Paint.
That's where this came from. My friend. I tried to do it fancy because you know how they have Paint 3D now and you can make like 3D models and everything. But then I spent like 5 minutes doing that and I'm like, I'm totally lost. I don't know what I'm doing, but I do know how to make crappy art in MS Paint.
Oh,
so
my
here
gosh.
we are. So I submitted this to the contest to get turned into an NFT. I'm also going to be publishing a bunch of my articles as NFTs and then giving them to people.
How can you
So
publish
like,
an article
Yeah.
as an NFT?
so
It
I'm still
becomes
working on that, but
it becomes a
we're either going to
picture?
hash. So we're going to hash the contents probably and put it into the article. And then so when you look at it in one of the block explorers that supports it or a wallet or whatever, you'll be able to read the whole article off the blockchain.
So if any one person owns that article and makes
Yeah.
a fortune off of it, that has nothing to do with you.
No, so that's the cool thing about the wallet place is that the original author gets paid when they're like a fee when the transfer gets made or whatever.
Okay, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So the I wanted to speak about this and have it in my little notes here. So Chia, obviously, the big thing at the start of Chia, everyone was complaining about there's no pools and this is supposed to be for the small man, and we all knew that was a bunch of shit because, I mean, Amazon and all of these companies can just spin up a whole farm like that, and then they'll own basically 90% of the Chia, right?
Oh yeah.
So anyway, so we were all complaining about the farms, about the pools. Pools came out, and then rapidly, you noticed very quickly that pools started getting canceled or dropping.
Just shutting
What was
down
the
because
situation?
they couldn't
Why were they
handle
getting
the,
shut down? You had
either
a
they
huge bid
couldn't-
on that.
yeah, either they couldn't handle the load or there was just too much work for one person. It's
There's
just
no money.
overwhelming. Yeah, there's nothing.
Like,
They
so
weren't-
think about it like this. To let's say you have a 1% pool fee, which most of them aren't even doing yet, right?
Right.
And then so you have this 1% pool fee. So in order to make $200 a day, you have to get 100 blocks. Right now, you have to farm. No, sorry, 50 blocks. You have to farm 100 Chia.
For 1%.
So 1% to get to
1%.
like $200 US a day, which is like one person's salary. Like,
But everyone was fighting to just get volume.
yeah.
Just to get people to join, and then once that expiration happens, they'll get that 1%. And hopefully that they'll make that money. But
That was at like $7.50 a coin though. Now it's down to like
exactly
$2.10 a coin, and like so, and those are the people that have to sell. Like they got bills to pay that from Chia, right? Like the same as like every time Bitcoin, like you can see this in crypto, and I've talked to like other people about it, but nobody believes me. But like there's a little mini crash at the end of the month every month. And it's like these are obviously miners selling off and paying payroll. Like and people are like, no, why doesn't it happen in the middle of the month? I'm like, because in China you get paid once a month.
Yep.
Right, like I yep. Even know that. I don't know anything about China. I know they get paid once a month, and I know that they go on Lunar New Year, so there's probably no crash that month. Like, but like that's so obvious when you look at the prices. Every single at the end of the month, it dips a little bit, and it's because they're all selling off. And the Chia farmers and the Chia pools can't do that. It's not worth enough.
Nope.
So like Space Pool's making money, Flex Pool's making money. XCH Pool's making money. H Pool's making loads of money.
Are they? So I figured that H pool, because it's not an official pool still, right?
So they've got both.
They've added an official pool portion.
But you still need to use their client for the official pooling thing. It's kind of a mess, but
okay, yeah, I was never part of H pool. Did you?
I tried
that?
I tried. It didn't go through. But the whole leveraging of H pool was the fact that you could use your OG plots and still be part of a pool. So that was the
and you
plus
can
side.
steal from them at the same time.
Right. And then not everyone could have replotted every single time. Not everyone had that kind of equipment to replot.
So
they're only winning 20
is what you're saying? You were able to double dip, kind of like have NFT or
Well, I never did it, but people were doing it. Yeah.
People were doing okay.
Yeah, people were doing it. I mean, they claimed that they were doing it, or they claimed that they didn't know they were doing it and it just happened. Or supposedly that's how you get banned if they find you.
But they only find you once you win and steal it yourself. So like right. So and like all it took, and I made this point, and Core Pool actually tried to do this, is my understanding. All they ever had to do was just share information, like Foxy Pool, Core Pool, and H Pool. Right. All they had to do was just share. These are the farmers that are farming for us once a day with each other. Like send us an email, and they could have banned everybody that was double farming.
Right.
But speaking of double farming, what's going on right now? And I tried to kind of grasp this. I don't farm flax. I don't farm.
I'm still doing all that crap.
Any of the other pools that you can farm multiple.
You can, but it just utilizes the NFT plots. You don't actually have to be a part of a pool in any of those.
So is that a detriment to the idea of Chia, or is that a benefit?
Well, to Chia, from the last video that their official website released, right, said that they love forks because that just pushes their Chia name out there, because
They
it's
don't love
part of-
forks.
well, that's what they said they did.
I know.
I saw that part. You were on that video.
Yeah,
I know you were asking questions. I was listening. I didn't comment at all, but I heard your comments or your questions. They said they like forks.
They said they liked me though. So like
True. True. So I don't know.
I have some doubts about that.
But I think forks in a way helps them because it's utilizing their technology.
It really helps them a lot. And I think that if they could start utilizing it properly, like if they were to like this Blue Box Time Lord thing that they like DDoS the network for, and they had to release the patches and everything, like why wouldn't they just spin those up on Flax? Like do everything to Flax first. Like, it's an open blockchain. Spin them up on Flax. Whole bunch of people complain about Flax going down. Don't do it. Like or some other blockchain that's they even said at the same time that they have testnet, right? So they don't need to do that. But like they did do this on testnet. Nobody noticed a problem.
Right.
Not a very good test because there was a problem, right? And like these are the kind of things that I really think that they should be like any Chia List application. Like somebody should release it on a fork first and say go nuts on this and break it. I'll give you 5 Chia or something like that if you can manage to steal all the Flax from this DeFi app. And then there you've got a bug bounty and a UAT, like almost like it's proper software development. Almost.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I agree.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But it's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
No.
They're too. I think they just want to keep everything internal to themselves.
They have a very long plan.
Right.
And they are at the very beginning of that plan. So making like core changes to how they do things like today because of like what we say is ridiculous. And they shouldn't, realistically.
Yeah.
Like they're a business, they've got a strategy.
I'll be honest with you guys. I still have no faith in Chia.
But you said you're here until 2025.
I'll do it. But
It doesn't cost you anything at
much
this point.
faith on it.
Well, so this is the thing, because like you work for the DOE. So like they've been talking about their path to revenue. Like this is why I asked that question, right? How they're going to do like RFPs or like they're going to do contracts for governments and big businesses, right? And it's like how are you going to do that? Like has anybody in there been through the RFP process? My company isn't big enough to answer an RFP for the US, like for the DOE, for a major state like that. We would have to go in with a partner, right? Like a Deloitte or an Accenture or somebody that's like really, really super big. And that's going to be the same with them. Like, they're way too small to do anything this stuff with no references and no like execution history and stuff like all the RFP process itself. Like forget blockchain. Like let's say that like people are looking for a blockchain solution, which again, big if, right? But like, like let's say they are, there's still all these hurdles that they need to get through of like, have they done background checks on everybody in their company?
Right.
Right. Like, are they ready to get cleared?
I mean, you're supposed to.
Yeah.
But you have to, if you're gonna answer if that's what their plan to like make money is, then they have to be doing all that stuff. They can't have criminals, or at least can't have criminals
I still been hearing Chia saying that they have a long-term plan and they're following the white paper and nothing has changed. I still don't see it. I don't know what it is that they're long-term.
You mean you're not excited to buy a Chia stock for a company with no revenue?
No.
A PE of 0?
Exactly.
I mean, all jokes aside though, the fact remains that there's a whole bunch of coins that are becoming very popular, and you mentioned Sol earlier as the the Ethereum killer and all this other nonsense. But the DeFi application, as well as the the dApps that are applied to it, and the applications of banks and whatnot to these different cryptos, is what the world is staring at right now and seeing who is the best at what. If we take something like, for instance, Sol's network just went down yesterday, and they have a whole bunch of validators, which that's one of my new projects, which I'm going to
Yeah, I've thought about you when I read about that. Yeah, like, I hope you have 256 gigs in that thing.
it's so that I'll explain
Yeah.
my new project in a little bit, but you know, they have very few validators on their network, which are the quote unquote miners. Essentially, they run the network, but because the requirements are so high, they are proof of stake, which is you know, it's not proof of work, it's proof of stake, except you're a validator. It's the same thing. But you have all these coins volleying for position, and Chia came in a position of, we're expandable, we have cleaner energy. When I see people's pictures of their Chia farms, I'm just like, oh my God, this is like, look at the number.
That's not clean energy, right?
Look at the number of USB like plugs you have. It's fucking insane.
You know what I've been doing? Just to cut, I'm going to cut you off really quickly. Is that on Facebook and Reddit, I see these guys posting up their rigs. Like, this is my Chia farm.
Yeah.
I start hitting them up. I'm like, yo, I need to talk to you. I want you to be on my video. I have this one guy that he posted his picture. I'm like, holy shit. You know, I saw it. I'm like, damn. And he was like, yeah, this is my farm. And then I reached out to him and said, yeah, English is not my first language. I'm gonna bring my partner and we'll talk. I was like, all right, cool. I want to know, like, what the hell is driving this guy? You know, like, he has this whole like setup. It's like, and then of course there's other guys who's like, oh, I got the, you know, these are free. I'm like, damn, man, that really gets me. Like, these guys are just utilizing old whatever they can get for free.
But I have, I mean, it's when people say that it's a greener coin, which it states as like, the leaf is supposed to indicate it's green energy, but then you see all these people with like hundreds of USB plugs, like just every drive is plugged in, and it may be taking a little bit less than obviously a GPU, but it's also generating a lot of GPU.
In regards to that, it's like just corporate America in general has these data centers. They're all using that energy. It's nothing is green.
That's where I was going with this. Because Sol is proof of stake and Ethereum is going to proof of stake at some point, and everyone's saying that, you know, Bitcoin is dangerous for the environment, and Chia comes out and says we're greener because we don't take as much energy. The problem is people's thought process, right? If you go proof of stake, if Ethereum actually can go to proof of stake, that means that they have to have massive warehouses of computation to handle the number of, basically doing what they're doing right now, which is like, in my basement, I've got some, you know, mining stuff, but they need to take that and they need to run it all by themselves. So that energy is still being used. It still has to be a massive warehouse, like Amazon, Google, Microsoft. All of those cloud services have gargantuan fucking like warehouses, and nobody says, oh, they're destroying the planet. You look at Bitcoin and Ethereum, everyone's like, mining's bad, they're destroying the planet. But they log into their Office 365 every day and are happy with doing that. It's the same thing.
Have you ever seen a car manufacturing using the 220-volt welding machines for building cars? That is not green.
Yeah.
And then the data center that holds all the information how to build a car, that shit is not green either.
Yeah.
So,
but they're pitching it, and it seems like it did catch fire at the start, and now people are starting to see, okay, well, what can you actually do? And if they get into actual DeFi, if they get into NFTs, which it seems like they're going into because it's a new fad, and I think it is just a fad. I think the NFT thing,
I thought it already died down already.
It died and then it gets big up.
Yeah,
and
I thought it had a really high momentum during the summer, and then now it's like you barely hear it.
Yeah, well,
still it's people trading them and like
it's
a lot
there,
of collectibles.
But it's like I don't hear anyone spending like a couple $100,000 on a.
Oh yeah, there's still like
Still?
$1.5 million CryptoPunks and everything getting sold.
Shit.
My buddy literally this week just bought a $15,000 picture of an ape.
It
Is it a CryptoPunk?
It is.
Well, that's probably a good investment, sadly.
Well, no, I know, but it's just the idea that he spent like $15,000 on this picture.
Yeah, that's why I want that stupid Chia plot to
Wow.
like, man, if that stupid picture like pays a bill for me, like any bill, I don't care,
But
even if it's
again,
like dinner.
that means that it's just a fad. It's not really an application, right? I know artists with artists that sell their rights to companies. They now get to sell their items directly to the purchaser without the
Right.
middleman, and they get that's the whole idea of the NFT,
That is crazy.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, but like
Wow.
middlemen are good.
Well, but
I like middlemen.
yeah. Anyway, but
You gotta have somebody's throat to choke that's not your customer.
yeah. So,
Like
anyways,
Wow.
yeah.
that's a term you hear in IT a lot is the throat to choke, and it really does mean that like somebody's responsible for this, and the reason
Always.
that I'm paying somebody is that I don't want to be responsible for it.
Right.
It's one of the things that really harms open source adoption is and why Red Hat and companies like Susie and everything don't have problems with open, because they have account managers and people that you can scream at when you're angry. And crypto and like DeFi and like these platforms and this direct peer-to-peer exchange of value, there's nobody to scream at when something goes wrong. So people go to like Reddit and scream and like freak out, publicly embarrass themselves and everything. But like it's a poor customer experience, and it like really needs, and I think that NFTs, they've got these marketplaces and everything, and it does feel a little bit more like a normal purchase to someone. Like it's something that you're buying online. It just stays online, but it still follows a very similar, like, I put my credit card number in, or I'm using Ethereum or whatever, but like I buy it from a website. I go to that website if I have a problem. Like
Yeah,
there's,
I think the argument though that most people would argue about the NFT thing is I get that the Mona Lisa is, there's only one of them and the original is the original, but you can also get a replica made and put it on your wall and then, people are like, oh, that's obviously a replica because it's not the original. With NFT, you have pictures of nonsense of whatever. You have a picture of a farm that was made in paint in 5 minutes
you
and
don't.
somebody pays whatever.
I think it took Chris about 10 hours.
So you're gonna split the difference. It was definitely similar. But so the important thing with an NFT though is that you don't actually own a picture. What you own generally is the hash on a blockchain, with that is a hashed URI, like a URL pointing to a picture, usually on like IPFS or on some sort of website somewhere. So like the idea of ownership is super tenuous when it comes to NFTs, because it's just a coin like any other that contains a little bit of data, and that data is not even the picture usually. It's just like a URI pointing to the picture.
So
Right.
the so the now the new move of Chia and its NFT release, which is what a whole bunch of things are coming out with, like Flexpool is saying we have Chia NFTs, and then I saw a couple of other links about Chia NFTs.
It's all through DeFi, through that one company
It's
right
just
now.
that's through a one company. Okay.
Yeah, it's their digital farming initiative. They're the ones who are doing all the NFT stuff, and they're really they seem really competent to me. They built a wallet on Discord.
Okay, so the new wallet thing, does that just mean that we finally get to mine to a different wallet other than the Chia GUI?
You can do that now with Knuckle.
Okay, but I mean, that's not a well-known wallet like Newton or,
Nah, they try to market themselves, but I haven't tried it yet.
I tried it. It works as well as like, MetaMask or whatever. Like it's fine.
But I think
it doesn't
the
have a
whole
lot of
idea
features.
of having a separate wallet, though, you need to have an easy exchangeable, like it needs to basically be transferable to another coin really easily, and that's not happening with Chia.
No.
And is that anywhere on the radar? Is that a thing that they have said in fact, Chris, tomorrow there's an AMA.
I mean, I've read people where, they go on Gate.io and exchange their Chia and then get paid back in Bitcoin or whatever they choose. They can
There's
exchange it there.
exchanges. Like I day
Yeah.
traded some with Tether, like back and forth on OKEX.
But anywhere outside of those exchanges that Chia is not on, you can't.
No, it's
just-
very poor. It's a
it's
very
just
poor
Chia,
experience
yeah.
right now, and people are getting like they had a whole bunch of problems with Gate.io.
Oh yeah, it was like locked out or something.
Yeah, people couldn't get transfers back, and they had a problem with their node.
But it's normal because you're gonna run into these issues, and the worst part of it all is like you just can't call 800 number and say I can't access my account.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying, right? Like it's poor customer service.
Yeah,
like
there's no customer service, hardly any.
Well, there's Reddit. Lucky. You can go to Reddit, and then people will call you an idiot. Like
idiot. So stupid. You put all your coins in there.
Yeah, well.
But Chris, tomorrow there's an AMA that you're going to.
No, I'm not. They very strategically chose it during when I pick up my kid from daycare. So
wait, what, Chia?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, they that's a joke. That's a joke. They picked it. That's when brand's available. But no, I made a joke to Eckert there about it. But yeah, it's gonna be with Bram and their new development person about their roadmap. I'm actually not super. I don't know. I want to see them do something useful.
But
and like I don't mean like
available on bigger exchanges is going to make it tradable, and people are going to start investing in it. Is that
that's a big thing. Like you can't you can go and you can buy it on crypto.com right now, but you can't really trade it. Like there's like a whole bunch of caveats and like.
I'll say, I mean that whole thing. Even if it gets on a bigger exchange or more popular exchange, it goes both ways. I mean, there's plenty of coins on big exchanges, and it is not doing well. You know what I mean? Like just because it's hitting like, just say Coinbase or something, doesn't mean there's going to be. I mean, Coinbase houses I don't know how many coins right now. I have a whole bunch of
400 or something like that.
I have a whole bunch of other shit coins that are just not doing anything.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting because I was under the impression that like, if like a big exchange like Binance or Coinbase was like, we're now trading Chia, people would start really.
I mean, look at Dogecoin. I mean, it's on Robinhood, it's on Coin, it's on all these platforms, and it's like crap. It's still crap.
Yeah.
So
okay. All right. So that's not the savior. That's not the savior of Chia then.
No, they need.
I'm the wrong person to be talking about Chia. I've been having doubts on my second video about Chia.
Well, I totally agree though. It's been like a wild time in terms of like the ups and downs of crypto and everything, and like Chia feels both old and new. Right, like it feels like they've sort of done everything that they said they were going to do.
Because Bram is old, and that's why.
What?
Bram is old. That's why.
Bram is old.
No, meaning he not as an age, but he has left bad taste to a lot of people in this realm of crypto.
He's stepped away from
just from BitTorrent and all that. Like not everyone's favorable of him. That's what I mean.
Totally agree.
Like it's because of that there's torn decisions between like going with this guy and not going. Everyone feels like he's a scam, which BitTorrent has become one at one point or another, right?
Yeah, well, it was a malware distribution platform.
And now it's like, oh, now he comes out with Chia. Like there's mix, between people who think he's like a god and who don't think of that highly of him.
He's definitely stepped away from the limelight though. Over the last recent like couple of months, he was sending a lot of tweets that were like combative to like people online and like arguing with stupid nonsense. I don't know.
It's constant. It's constant.
I don't know if you saw my ranting video, but basically I was like, just shut the fuck up and do your job. Right. Nobody wants to argue with you online. And there's so much stuff for you.
Oh, I'll argue with him online.
Yeah. But anyway, so I think he's stepped away from that limelight over the last couple of months, and maybe they've said, okay,
he'll get paid regardless. I mean, 21 million XCH is a lot.
that is true.
Okay, we're gonna stop it there for part one. Part two, I'm going to be uploading right after this. We're gonna keep the Chia theme. I'm gonna cut out most of the other nonsense that we kept talking about, but if you enjoyed this, stay tuned for part two. It'll be uploaded. They're both about 30 to 35 minutes in length. And again, we go through a whole spectrum of different aspects of the current Chia market and what we feel about it. So if you liked it, that's awesome. Stay tuned for part two. And there's a whole bunch of my other videos that are going to be around my head here. And we'll see you in part two. Thanks.